Purple Maggot, as we're going to call them, we don't know their name, was sitting in the back row. They were one of the people that we thought were kind of sketchy, might be a red guard, but they weren't trying anything, so we just kind of left them in.
Yeah, if they had disrupted, we would have just booted their ass out of there, but, they didn't.
They didn't. They
just sat there politely. So.
And then, they have a video afterwards when they had some interesting remarks. I think they might be a Vosh fan for one reason. They're wearing a T-shirt that I've seen Vosh wear before.
Okay, so should we trigger warning the audience before this video?
Trigger warning.
If you were offended by crazy people screaming, you probably shouldn't listen. You should probably put your microphone on mute because you're about to hear a lot of cringe, crazy screaming. But this is the reaction of a crazy rad lib to our amazing conference. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Roll it.
Reminder, they're not leftists. Fuck! Why do we have to talk about this? It's so fucking obvious. They don't like the shit that leftists in America do. They think that Putin is justified. They think that it's fucking awesome what he's doing in Ukraine when they're not denying what he's doing in Ukraine. They aren't leftists. They don't care about you. They care about pretty pictures. The fucking bust that was there was from a Communist Party USA event where Stalin and Lenin's portraits lined the stage. There was a Soviet flag, an American flag on the stage. They held hands as the Communist International played, followed by the national anthem. On stage, holding those flags. They're nationalists! Holy
All right, so
okay, all right.
Let's break that down for us. Oh, Keaton's got a quick message.
Caleb, I figured you might need that for your eyes.
Oh, what is this?
Cleaning
vinegar for my eyes.
Did it say steak free? Oh, streak free.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right, Keaton will be on later, by the way, so we're gonna have Keaton on. But so let's react to that, Lily. What did we just see there?
Well, all right. There were a lot of really concise, intelligent, cohesive arguments. That was extremely unhinged. So I don't get how we're singing the International, right? The International, which means, friendship between nations. And then we have the American national anthem. So we're nationalists, right? Okay.
Yeah. I don't In my remarks, I specifically said the United States is not a nation.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't fit the definition of a nation. I actually said that in my remarks.
Maybe
but, they forgot that part. Yeah. So.
It's also like, I'm sorry. Are they crazy? Like,
yeah, that's what I mean, there you go. It really put a smile on my face that we offended someone like that. That's exactly what we don't want socialism in the United States to be associated with, is that. And that a lot of average Americans, when they think of socialism, they think of that, and that's what we don't want to be.
Well, they said, is it what they don't like the shit leftists do? I mean, yeah,
that video is a great example of what we don't like. That's a great example. Yeah.
It's also like, I don't know, you're going to like a kind of professional conference. I'm not saying you have to dress up super nice, but why try to look like as insane as possible? I mean, am I being too mean with that one?
Well, sure. The other thing is the person calls themselves Purple Maggot, right? And it's like, maggot is an insult, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's kind of like you get that. That's a big thing with a lot of these synthetic left types. It's like self-hatred is a big part of it. The person's calling themselves a maggot.
It's like, I'm an idiot, or like all this, like, it's kind of like thought slime. What you talk about. It's like gross, disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, it's this pessimistic contempt, self-degrading. I hate my life. I hate the world. Everything sucks. Blah. That's the tone you get from a lot of leftist events, a lot of leftist discourse, and that's just not what we're trying to put out at the Center for Political Innovation.
And a lot of stuff, people responding like me, and I'm like, okay, did you just say that? Like, does that not have like, I feel like maybe that's not the CPI. Maybe you're just, it's like they're wallowing in their kind of, which is like, I mean, I'm not gonna laugh at that. It's it's
unfortunate.
It's
well, I think a lot of leftists have sort of an obsession with losing after decades of being co-opted by government agencies and things of that nature. And I think that reflects in the psychology behind a lot of the ultra leftism that we're seeing, and especially with this Purple Maggot individual.
Yeah,
right. I've said a lot of times, I feel like it's kind of, leftism is kind of like a permanent counterculture. The counterculture of the 60s and 70s. Well, leftism, they kind of got into that mindset where we're always going to be like this little, like 1 to 5% of the population who the other people, they don't get it. And we're so enlightened and all that. And I mean, that's not how you win. You want to be permanent counterculture. I mean, just go to punk concerts. I mean, you can do that, but
right. We're serious. And that's what I was really trying to hit home in my remarks was that, you know, we are actually serious about this. We do want to win. We are serious. And that's why we're not telling people that we want to destroy the United States, F this country. That's why, you know, we're not saying that we want to tear the country apart with civil war, but we have a real economic program to rescue the country. That's what kind of sets us apart from the synthetic left. That is just kind of an expression of destruction. And actually, there was a pretty good message on that from Haas. Like Haas's remarks, that was kind of the thrust of what he was getting at about, like, what does it mean to be a leftist and all of that. And maybe if we can get that clip, you know, oh, Chase Fillingham says that your speech was the best.
Thank you so much, Chase. I really appreciate that. I'll be honest, I was a little nervous for it, but I think it went really well.
Yeah, well, I want to say that speech, we're going to get the video of that. That's going to mean the world to the Venezuelans, you know, and to Alex Saab's family. There was a conference, hundreds of people, were a fiery speech, and the audience started chanting, "Free Alex Saab, free Alex Saab." That was a great moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was an awesome moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say something I forgot.
Okay. Any other moments that stand out from the conference?
Moments. Well, I mean, I think I just saw Peter and Grace talking about how we got to have little early dinner after in the intermission. That was lovely. Getting to talk to them. Peter and Grace, really great, really great folks. Glad to have met them. And I don't know, the opening ceremony was awesome.
Oh,
the closing ceremony was awesome.
Yeah, and already that video, just a single photo of that opening ceremony is already going viral in Russia, viral in Lugansk and Donetsk and the Donbass regions. And it's like, this is a really big deal, I would say. That opening ceremony was something powerful. And that's what seemed to trigger Purple Maggot the most, right? Was the opening ceremony.
Well, then they can't even get their story straight. So it's, we are, you know, nationalist fascist group, but then when we say the World Federation Democratic Youth Pledge, which is like to eliminate all traces of fascism from the youth, they're like, this is culty.
Yeah. Okay. We literally opened with a pledge that denounces racism, calls for the unity of the people of the world, says we must eliminate all traces of fascism from the earth, the official CPI pledge. And they thought, oh, that's culty, that we have a pledge, an anti-racist pledge, you know. That's, you know,
it's like, all right, I guess you don't want to eliminate all traces of fascism.
One of the best things that I thought about the opening or about Purple Maggot's response, one of the best things that I thought was they said they sang the Communist International, and it's like Vosh fans can't get it through their heads. Communist International is an organization. It's an organization.
Dissolved in 1943, folks.
And International is a song.
Wait, what? I thought they're the same.
No, and Vosh has done this on his streams. I made fun of him for it, right?
I can send you that clip.
Communist International, Comintern organization, International song, right?
Well, so Vosh says, what? Sylvia Pankhurst talked with Lenin at the second meeting of the Communist International.
Yeah, it's like the meeting of the song.
Yeah, well, they meet every couple of years and they sing the song and then they're like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and this person, like, I mean, they have no understanding of what this movement is even about, right? I mean, it's just, I saw that and I just thought that's classic, and it's like, it shows you. I mean, if you're taking political direction from Vosh, there's a clip recently, you know, George Galloway, the great George Galloway, gave us a great message, right? Which is already posted online. You can go to the CPI YouTube channel and watch George Galloway's great message. But I believe it's already uploaded, right? Or is it's up? It's like scheduled to go up. At least it hasn't gone up. But one of the things that was so great was that, you know, Vosh on one of his streams, you know, he discovered on air who George Galloway was.
This guy's a Nazi?
Oh, and he's like looking on Wikipedia trying to figure out who George Galloway is. This guy, George Galloway, has been a member of parliament in Britain for decades.
He met with Saddam Hussein, for Christ's sake. He
was one of the most like outspoken activists against the Iraq War in Britain. I mean, if you're a socialist and you're discovering on air, he's like typing in Wikipedia, George Galloway, who's that? I mean, it's like, why is anyone listening to this guy? And when it comes to what socialism and Marxism is, he has no clue what he's talking about. He just supports the imperialists, and so the algorithms promote him, and that's who we're supposed to accept.
Exactly.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I feel like a lot of these people too they're kind of like, it's kind of like poison with ideology. I don't know if this maybe Haas kind of remarked on this, but maybe I sound like Zizek ideology. But it's kind of like they're poisoned with that. Like people are like, why do you have a bust of Lincoln? Was he a communist? It's like, Okay, does it matter? John Brown wasn't a communist. Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, they weren't communists. Does that mean, oh, well, everything before communism is bad? Right?
Yeah, right. Well, it's like, and we had Lincoln up there because Lincoln represented a progressive trend in U.S. history, the struggle to defeat slavery and the struggle to break out of that system. You know, slavery existed in the United States because the British Empire needed cheap cotton, right? It was the British who propped up slavery. And a little known fact that no one ever talks about is that the British were thinking about sending their navy to the South, right? The Union Army set up a blockade to prevent any imports to the South during the Civil War. And the British were going to send their navy to break the blockade and help the Confederates start exporting cotton and importing weapons and stuff. So the Russians actually intervened in the American Civil War and sent their navy to New York City's harbors. And that sent a message to the British that if you get involved on the side of the South, we're going to get involved on the side of Lincoln.